Welcome back. This is Roy bringing you some tidbits on the progress the team's made these 2 past months. If you like what you see, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, join our Discord in the description down below. Before we dive into the progress for this month on the Western project, we would like to talk a little bit about what's going on in our SCP branch. As many of you know, Site 47 will be opening in a few weeks on December 19th, and much has been done to ensure that the game will be a unique, fun SCP experience. For this SCP project, we added a radio system which allows players to create their own walkie-talkies and communicate over secure channels. We have Tommy to thank for the radio model, and Greenleo for the mechanics. The radio system also has a site-wide loudspeaker system so the site director can notify the staff of emergencies. We have also added some interesting new functional SCPs to the game, such as SCP-1499. SCP-1499 is a Soviet gas mask which teleports the player to a dimension with bizarre creatures and environment. Go forth at your own risk. We've also been busy expanding on the Site 47 map, gifted to us by Star Phoenix. Portions of the site which are new include a ventilation network, bunking, and research labs, which will all be utilizable and interactive once the server is released. That's about all we will be showing for our SCP branch. To check it out, try one of our upcoming beta tests, and fill out the whitelist application for the December 19th release. Our Western Resource Pack team has been quite a bunch of busy bees this past 2 months, adding over 24 detailed models to our pack. First up, we have the Henry rifle made by Vanya, one of the most popular rifles of the West. It has state-of-the-art lever action which allows the user to quickly discharge and move on to the next round. The Henry rifle is most iconically known from the television series The Rifleman, where it was modified for single action. Who knows, maybe one day we'll add the variant. Next we have the Sharps rifle, made by David. This rifle is one of the most iconic rifles of the Civil War, being by most accounts the first true sniper rifle. With a barrel long scope, easily identify your target to take him out without a flinch. This rifle will be the ambusher's dream, as well as the hunter's love as you take down your targets one by one from a safe distance. With the help of Adam, we have also developed a handgun which many a gun nut may enjoy, the Elgin Cutlass. This pistol, falling into the category of a pistol sword, is iconic for its 12-inch Bowie knife blade strapped at the bottom, serving not only as a firearm, but as a melee weapon. Speaking of melee weapons, we also have the Tomahawk, produced by PeeKayy. This beautifully designed axe will be a weapon distinct to many tribes, and perhaps someday we can even make it throwable. Lastly, for models, we have a new hat to celebrate the upcoming festive season. Donated by Tommy, this Christmas hat will be available for a limited time through events, and soon, the hat shop. There have been some exciting developments we have to show on the plugin side of things, as many new talented developers have joined our ranks. Firstly, let's dive into telegrams. The Telegraph plugin, which is currently being made, will allow the player to communicate over distances with other players in roleplay, via telegram stations, which will be a dot on the map. Outlaws and natives who wish can do events to cut the lines, which will leave the connection which has been broken inoperable till a repair team is sent out. As we get closer to releasing our Western RP, this will become a more immersive feature and will hopefully be used by all. Next up, we have a neat map API made by Toxic Liquids, which should be very handy in the days to come. This plugin will work very similar to a few plugins such as Courier and Images on Maps, however it will not be as buggy, and have tons of new features which will enhance the user's gameplay. Write letters to your friends, use colored fonts in them too, import images and very soon animations. The limits will not be bound your experience with Map API, coming to a server near you. Lastly, we're going to dive into the world of pain as we talk about the Injuries plugin. Ever wanted to actually experience those injuries you got through RP, whether battle or torture, or have your opponent face the consequences of receiving such? Well then this is the plugin for you, my friend. Injury is made by Mike, who allows staff to inflict wounds onto the player, conducted through RP, whether it be gouging of eyes or dismemberment of a limb. We get an injury for everything. With RPG done, our builders have begun getting back into the groove of focusing their efforts on the historical RP. We start today off with some interesting historical builds by Snowy. Here we see the San Xavier del Bac mission, located in Tucson, New Mexico territory. A Catholic mission built in the late 18th century, it is one of the oldest examples of Spanish architecture in Arizona. For the last few hundred years, it has been guarded by the local native tribes and Hispanic communities, which still occupy it in present day. Next we have the Alcatraz Lighthouse, the first lighthouse built on the west coast. Before being a prison island, Alcatraz served as the first and sole light in the San Francisco Bay, guiding the way for ships sailing through the choppy waters. While it was demolished to build the now present prison, we have been able to reconstruct it through photographs from the era in which the server will take place. Next we have Fort Yuma, built by Oak. Fort Yuma was a famous outpost along the trail between California and the New Mexico territory, protecting travelers from the Yuma tribe during the Yuma's wars. It protected the Yuma Crossing, which was a safe route across the Colorado River and was often supplied from downstream by ferries. It will be just one of the many military locations players can actively play as soldiers in. Lastly, in builder projects for this month, we are proud to show off our new creative spawn, also built by Oak. This spawn is based off of a cathedral built in Alsace, Lorraine, and truly represents our build team's dedication when it comes to capturing detail of historic builds. Come check it out in the plot world if you would like to fly around, and feel free to build your own very own historic builds today. Speaking of player builds, it's time to unveil our player build of the month. Built by Pompadour, this amazing two-story plantation home now enriches our new large block creative world, and captures the era of the pre-war South in full glamour. This home comes with its very own coach, and an interior to boot, with amazing bed designs and fireplaces. Thank you Pompadour for sharing your skills with us. And that's it for October and November updates. Please remember to keep an eye out for upcoming releases and test sessions, as they will soon be here. Remember to like and subscribe, and we hope you have a wonderful holiday season.